Now, at the time of this video, I am living in Battery Park City myself, and I can't even describe in this video how much I actually love this neighborhood. Now, I have lived in a few other neighborhoods in and around Manhattan, and I have to say, by far, this is honestly my favorite. So Battery Park City is a very, very quiet neighborhood. Now, some people don't like quiet because some people are like, why would I want to live in Manhattan if I want quiet? But after living in Manhattan for years, you will love the peace and serenity that you get living in Battery Park City. And also, if you are new to New York City and you're just going to Battery Park City, if you're not the type of person who wants to hear noise at all times a day, then you're going to love this neighborhood. So if you've spent any time in Battery Park City at all, you probably noticed that the streets here are very, very, very clean, especially compared to other downtown neighborhoods. So you hardly ever see garbage on the streets. You hardly ever see all this junk just flying around. It happens everywhere in New York City, but you hardly ever see it here. This neighborhood really doesn't have a lot of tourist traffic coming through. It really is just people who live in the neighborhood that are walking around the streets. I also love that Battery Park City is a waterfront neighborhood. So we have probably some of the best waterfront parks in all of New York City directly here in this neighborhood. So if you walk over to the Hudson River waterfront, that's where all of the waterfront parks are going to be. And they're really so great. So they're so well kept, they're clean, they're safe, and also really great spot for a picnic in the summer and spring months. So another reason that you'll love the neighborhood is honestly the price. Now, this might surprise some people, but I would say that Battery Park City, especially for being downtown on the west side, is relatively more affordable than other comparable neighborhoods. So why is that? I think it's also a supply and demand factor. Now, some people do not like living in Battery Park City because they feel like it's not the true vibe of New York City, and it kind of does feel a little bit like a suburbs in a way. I love that, but some people don't like that. Now, because of that, prices here tend to be a little bit cheaper for what you get. Don't get me wrong. I do not think the quality of the apartments here are any less than any other neighborhood. They're fantastic. But because of that, it tends to be a little bit cheaper. Also, most buildings are land leased in Battery Park City, so they do not own the land that the building is on. Now, that's a whole other topic I can get into in another video, and I will get into it in other videos, but because of that, prices tend to be a little bit cheaper because of supply and demand and also the land lease. But it works in your favor because you can definitely get a really well-priced 2 or 3 bedroom here. Now, I know I already mentioned the waterfront parks, but I didn't mention the views of the Statue of Liberty from Battery Park City. It's crazy to see how great the views are of this famous monument. I just think it's so cool. So from my apartment, I actually have a view of the Statue of Liberty from the primary bedroom, and I spend so much time literally just staring out at the water and at the Statue of Liberty because I'm like, how cool is this? This is what New York City is all about. So I love that you get such great views from this neighborhood. So another reason that people love the neighborhood is Brookfield Place. Now, Brookfield Place connects to the World Trade Center Mall, so there's an underground tunnel connecting both of these. So Brookfield Place has some shops and restaurants directly in the building, and there's also some co-working spaces here. I do happen to work at a co-working space here in Brookfield Place. I'm in one right now. So I love all the amenities that Brookfield Place has to offer for people who live in the neighborhood. Now, we can't forget about Battery Park, the actual Battery Park. So Battery Park City is an entire neighborhood, but there is a park called Battery Park. And honestly, I love Battery Park. Before moving downtown, I didn't realize how great Battery Park was until I moved downtown and started spending a lot of time here. Now, I think it's just great to just walk around. The views are amazing. It's a very clean park, so I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely way cleaner than Central Park. I really just love spending time here in the nicer months, and it's also a great place to walk your dog and take your dog around if you have a dog. Which brings me to my next point, which is this is a great neighborhood for dogs. Now, I have 2 dogs, so they love Battery Park. So one of my 2 dogs lived in another neighborhood with myself and my husband, and that dog did not like that neighborhood very much at all, and was always basically dragging his little paws when we're trying to take him outside. But he doesn't really have that problem in Battery Park City. We take him on walks. There's a ton of dog parks to go to in the neighborhood. It really is such a dog-friendly community, and honestly, most people in the neighborhood probably do have dogs. And also, I was trying to rack my mind when coming up with this answer, but I think all buildings in Battery Park City, at least every building that I can recall, is a doorman building in Battery Park City. Now, there might be an entrance that doesn't have a doorman or doesn't have somebody at the desk, like a security desk or something like that, but you're pretty much getting a secure doorman building anywhere you go in Battery Park City. So that's just how the neighborhood is. It's a high-rise neighborhood, and it's not the type of neighborhood you're going to get a lot of townhomes and walk up. Now, there are a few townhomes in Battery Park City. A lot of people don't know that. There are a few, very few, but it's pretty much going to be a high-rise or mid-rise type of building neighborhood. So those are 10 reasons you're going to love living in Battery Park City. If there's anything else that you want to mention about the neighborhood, please share it in the comments, and also share if you would ever live in Battery Park City, because as you know, I love the neighborhood, but I'm dying to know what you guys think. So as always, I love hearing from you guys.